7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, my name is Martin Moguel Aguilar. I am from Mexico City. I am double majoring in history and communications, and I play for the BC men's soccer team. And for the past 2 years, I've also been doing the social media account.
My name's Will Finney. I'm from Jasper, Georgia, and I'm an exercise science major here at Brevard College.
So my name is Cauê dos Santos. I'm from Brazil. I'm an international student. I play soccer from Brevard College, and also I'm senior. I'll be graduating this spring in May. Almost done.
I'm Hayden Domingo. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I was a criminal justice major here at Brevard, and I just graduated last semester. How did I get to Brevard? Well, really, I reached out to Coach L and just started emailing him a little bit. He invited me to a camp, and I saw some of my game film, and then got the offer from there, and that's why I'm here.
So how I got here, I took a tour here my freshman year of high school. Actually, I started really early and came around here. I loved the campus. I loved the location. Always loved the mountains. So I thought it'd be a good fit for me. How I found out about Brevard College, though, is I live really close to Barry College, and me and my dad, we went to a Barry versus Brevard game. Both of my mom's actually a Barry alumni, so they were kind of hoping I would go there. But I was like, I'm going to check out Brevard since Barry played Brevard, and, took the tour there, ended up here, and really no regrets. Love Brevard, love the location, and happy here. That's about it.
So I am from Mexico, but I knew I wanted to study in the US. The system in Mexico is not the best, so you either have to go for athletics or academics. I still wanted to play soccer or football, but I also wanted to keep studying. So Mexico was not going to be the best place for me. And back in my school, I had a friend who had a brother who worked at an agency, and that's how I started looking for options at the US. And then inside that agency, the guy knew my assistant coach. They had played together, and that's how they contacted me with Brevard. I originally wanted to study physics, so Brevard had a physics program. They had a soccer team. Mario, the assistant coach, knew the person back in my agency, and that's how I started getting in contact. And after talking a bit, looking at the campus, I was really happy with Brevard. And I come from Mexico City, so changing from a very big city to a small place like Brevard was really happy. And that's why I chose to come to Brevard.
So my brother was in Brevard, and I was in Brazil, and I came to USA to visit him and spend like 3 weeks, 1 month here. I don't remember. And then after that, Coach L meet me, and he say, "Oh, do you wanna do a tryout and play with us, just to play for fun?" And say, "Yes, why not?" At that time, I got some opportunities to play in Brazil, keep playing in Brazil, and then I did the tryout, and Coach L was like on me the whole semester. During the whole semester, saying, "Oh, do you want the opportunity? Do you want to take the opportunity to keep playing here in USA? I can help you. You can improve your English, and your play style is one thing that I was looking for, something like that." it was during the weekend. We had a game, away game, and I think was on Wednesday, and I hadn't class on Wednesday, so I was able to go to the game, and was against a D2. I was in the bench, and he was looking to me, and I was like, okay, he gonna pick me and put me to play. And he just was walking in front of me and looked to me, but he didn't say nothing. And at the halftime, Coach Mario, our old assistant coach, said to Coach L to put me in, to test me. And Coach L said, no, I can't do that because he didn't show anything yet, so I cannot give this opportunity right now. And Mario say, okay, give 5 minutes to him. If he did good, keep him. If he didn't, give me him, and he gonna play in the reserves. And I didn't know that. So when he put me in, I did my best. And after that, I was the only freshman starter in my freshman season.
First soccer memory, like true first soccer memory, has to be when we first moved in. Athletes moved in a little bit early, so we got here before classes starts. And I just remember like meeting people in my room and then seeing like guys out on the field playing. And so of course like all the guys we live with, we went to go play.
And then my sweet mate, Brandon Brockman, he had told me like, hey, put on your cleats and we're gonna go to the field. That was the first time I like had met him, hadn't met anybody. And they had told him that we were gonna play pickup. So after like the very first day after I had gone in, I met most of the my teammates.
Started to realize how many different guys were on the soccer team, and we just played a little pickup on the field before season had started, before classes started.
That's the first time I was introduced to anybody other than Brockman and Owen, because they were my sweet mates and roommate. And my sister took a few pictures, so that was pretty cool. I still have those pictures. And yeah, and then soccer-wise, I would say like now playing for Brevard. Our first game against Mars Hill, I played for the reserves. So every sports team had already started their season. We were the only ones that hadn't. And I was just excited, nervous. We had gone away game, so being on the bus, traveling with friends, it was pretty cool.
Mars Hill away, right? Mars Hill away was the first one. Yeah, so this is actually a good talking point. I think we ended up losing that game 2-1, but Blake Stewart, he played first 2 years here. He ended up leaving, but he scored a goal. But I remember it was kind of a pass across the net, and I had the chance to score it. And I just backed away from him. I was like, I'm gonna let Blake have his moment.
It was also my very first game I was playing completely in English, because I'm from Mexico, so I wasn't used to playing a sport in a different language, and I was nervous, but it felt really good.
But that whole reserve season, just as a whole, I mean, it all kind of clumped together, but it was just amazing.
One of the things I've had enjoyed a lot about Brevard is that it has taken me out of soccer a bit. As I said, I wanted to come here and study physics, but as I was talking to a lot of people and in general, like how I was developing as a student, I liked communications a lot. I like doing social media. There's this thing called CSNAG that I'll mention in a bit, but the opportunities that I was given here, not only to study physics, but like to do a lot of stuff. The gen eds helped me a lot. And although I don't like physics a lot, I realized I like communications a bit more. So that's why I switched majors. Then I really like history, so I added that as a major. And that was amazing. I think Brevard has given me the opportunity to learn a lot of things about a lot of different topics and even switch majors, and I'm loving it. And then outside, like my friends, I enjoyed soccer a lot. I have made a lot of friendships through it, and I would say the best ones were this team called CSNAG for futsal. We have an intramural futsal when we're off season, and me and Luca and Gonzalo, we decided to create a team. Best decision of my life. That's when I knew I wanted to do communications because of the social media managing of that account. The first tournament wasn't the best, but then the second one we were champions, so that was pretty cool. And I would say that team, CSNAG, it's something I will take forever, like one of the best friendships I've made. And and it has guided me a lot. Content, friends-wise, it's pretty cool. And I think that's one of the things I like about Brevard the most, the way I can balance both academics and athletics.
Yeah, so around my sophomore year, I was like, I haven't really explored the area much, and I've considered myself like kind of an outdoors kind of guy, so I probably took maybe 40 to 50 hikes my sophomore year, and then probably added another 50 my junior year, and haven't really had time with how busy my senior year has been to go. But I mean, if anyone lives around this area, I'm sure a lot of y'all watching do, but I mean, just take a weekend, just go see it. It's incredible. On top of that, just like the people I've met here, the relationships that I've been able to make, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's just the people really is what makes Brevard special, and I'm not going to take that for granted.
My experience here in USA, because as I say, I didn't know English when I start college, so it was hard to me to express myself, and I was feeling so bad about that because I wanted to talk, I want to someone to listen me, but I couldn't speak English, so I couldn't express myself the way I want. And I was injured, and I didn't know what was going on with my knee. The old trainer was talking about surgery. I was like, bro. And I was okay. If I need to do a surgery, I need to go back to Brazil, do all my stuff there, and my rehabilitate. I don't know how to say this word. Yeah, to recover better, like my country. And I was okay. Now I need to take a decision, and a smart decision, because if I take the wrong one, everything can change my life. And then I decided to stay here. I stay like 7, 8 months, saying if I'll touch the ball, if I'll run, just going to the gym and try to get my muscles strong to see if my knees got better. And I was like bad, but like very, very bad mentally. And I need to start to therapy sessions. And was a good choice, because I learned how to express myself. I'm not talking about English, but like I learned how to be me, and like give my opinion, say yes or no, something like that. You know what I'm talking about. And that time my English was getting better, so was tough experience, but it was good, because now I am who I wanna be.
Right. Outside of soccer, Brevard has been great to me. So many friends, our team, like, so many teammates, and the classes. I actually really like the classes. I appreciated like the small class size. Absolutely love my major, my professors. Even stuff outside my major, ended up picking up 2 minors, and a minor in history, minor in pre-law. Loved all the professors I had. I think I learned a lot. And yeah, I really appreciated everything Brevard has done for me.
So as I said before, I wasn't first team when I came here. When I talked to Mario, that was one of the first things he told me. Like soccer, college soccer is different, so I'll have to get used to it, and that's why I was into reserves, and I did get used to it. I was nervous, different language and everything.
It was pretty crazy, starting reserves. You kind of do, especially as a freshman, true freshman, 18 years old. You kind of do look up to the guys on the first teams that you would watch play, and a lot of older guys. A lot of international guys. There's a lot of talent on that first team.
You hear talk like with teammates and stuff, saying like, oh, once you're on the reserves, you're stuck, and that's like your first impression here. And I was like, well, guess I'm stuck here. But I mean, that didn't stop me from, playing as hard as I could in practices or in games or putting in quality minutes as a winger as the reserves. Because I mean, there's only one way up. I mean, you got to work for it. And
I think the team we made was pretty cool. Normally in sports, it's very understandable that if you know that your goal is to be first team, everybody will like push each other, or not necessarily push each other good, but like try to be the best player and don't care about themselves. I think that was very good about our research team, that it wasn't like that for us. We helped each other. I think we were a very solid research team.
But I think we did well to, make a name for ourselves on the reserves and really work through it. And I enjoyed every second of it, And then when I did get moved up to the first team, it felt surreal.
Felt amazing. It felt like what I was putting in to the reserves team was actually paying off.
Like it was the idea. If you work hard, if you focus on yourself and make the best out of yourself, you're gonna be first team, and it worked for me.
We got moved up. I feel like everyone who did deserves to.
I remember when we dressed out for that first team game and just putting on that jersey. Me and Martine, we took a picture after the game, all in our jerseys, all smiles. It was a really proud moment. Obviously the journey was just getting started. Hadn't even touched the field for the first team at that point, but
I can speak on Hayden and Martine's half when that happened. I mean, we were all very excited because it felt like we were moving up and in the program, which we were, and taking the next step in our careers. So it's just a special moment overall.
I wouldn't have expected to be brought to first team my freshman year, but I did, and it was pretty awesome.
It's like I stepped my way up, from high school. If you're coming to play college soccer, you're probably one of the better players on your team in high school. Then get here in the reserves, and I think I had the opportunity to be captain for a lot of those games and really work on my leadership skills, and then move up to first team where you're not starting all over, but I feel like the reserves kind of helped me prepare and more polish my skills more before you got to the actual first team. So.
Like, as I said before, my first season here, I was playing with my brother, and he was a senior, I was freshman, and I was on my first season, he was on his last season, and we were champions together, and like, at that time, I didn't know how to speak in English. I did like 1 year, 2 years almost without English. I don't know how. But was special because I was with him, but I didn't play the tournament.
Honestly, a lot of my favorite memories come from our experience on the reserves. We started freshman year, started on the reserves team. I think we had a very close-knit group of guys on the reserves team, and we came out and had some really good games, really fun games. Upsetting Gardner-Webb at home was one of the best experiences.
And that day we were all very excited. We had played against them previously away, so now we were playing them at home. And we began losing that game, and it was not the best feeling.
I gave up the free kick that Gardner-Webb ended up scoring to go up 1-0. Or I can't remember if they scored first or if we scored first, but I think we went down 1-0, I'm pretty sure. And I gave up the free kick, and then Owen Plusser scored the craziest goal ever. I mean,
he got a rebound from the keeper and scored a goal, so we were all excited. I couldn't believe it. Nobody could believe it. It was insane. And I honestly thought we were going to go with a tie, which would be a pretty good result. And then towards the end of the game, Will Finney, who played on my band,
I got the assist to Lamont Young for the game-winning goal.
And we beat Gardner-Webb my freshman year at D1 under reserves. That was insane.
I remember thinking in my head, this is what college soccer is like. And, that's a little naive. It was still like reserves, whatever. But, like, actually having people at our games and then pulling off that upset, people rushing the field, seeing, like, my friends, obviously I'm a defender, so I obviously I played a role. Martine, we're defenders. We play roles in the game, but we're not scoring the game winners or whatever. But, like, everybody celebrated together as a team, and just it was all smiles. So Gardner-Webb has to be one of my favorite memories.
Game was just crazy. Getting pulled up to first team the end of my freshman year after playing the reserves. Got to be on there. It was me, Hayden, and Martine. We all got pulled up. I didn't really expect much of it. Ended up getting pulled up and then playing in my first game there against Greensboro in the conference tournament, and I was like, I'm actually gonna play in this conference tournament. Ended up playing the most minutes that I ever did in my first on my whole 4 years here in my freshman year in the conference tournament. Out of all the conference tournaments, that was the most minutes I got, and I felt like I contributed well to the team. So I was putting in some quality minutes, and we ended up winning the championship at William Peace. I got a yellow card that game. The guy flopped though, and just to be clear.
Finney just did a two-hand shove on Williams. I'm not really sure why he's complaining right now.
Fantastic memory, and we went on to nationals. We drew Washington and Lee. That's it. Washington and Lee. That's who we drew. And of course, looking at their record, they're a really good team. We went down 2-0 at halftime, and coach put me in. Went on, and it took 45 seconds. I can't remember who. They got chipped a ball into me around the edge of the D, and I held up the play, and Lynch made a run to my left, and I spotted him out of my peripheral vision, sent it through a ball in the box, and Lynch finished it with his right foot. That's probably my favorite memory here. It was just very special for me coming on my freshman year, getting that opportunity to capitalize, and just that freshman season really just, I feel like, was very sentimental to me in Brevard. So, yeah.
On my sophomore year was special because I played the whole season. Like, we got 20 games. I played like 18, 19, something like that. And we won. I got my first award, personal award. I was nominated as an all-tournament team.
My favorite ever memory will be against Methodist. Sophomore year, the women and us, we both were playing the semifinals away. Coincidentally, we both played against Methodist, and it was pretty cool. They had played before us, and they won. They won 2-0. And as we arrived, we were seeing the final score. We got to celebrate a bit with them, but not too much because we had to play and they had to leave for food. But then it was our turn to play. The very first half, not the best, but the second half was easily the best, like the best 45 minutes I've ever seen. We scored, tied 1-1. Then we scored again, it's 2-1. Then they had a penalty towards the final 7 minutes, and they missed. Well, our keeper saved it, so I thought we were in. And then they scored a free kick, a very good free kick. And I remember their keeper looking at the bench and doing like the crying scene, so not the best feeling. But then after that, there were like 5 minutes left. So then after that, there's 30 seconds left. There's a recording of the women because the women had come back to see us. And they have the video of the series of rebounds. 30 seconds left. Rocco gets the ball. Everybody wants him to shoot, but he was very good. So he knew when to shoot. Shoots, scores, and the whole bench just goes crazy, runs into this field. And I remember me and some of our teammates went in front of the keeper and did the sign back. And it was awesome, like a very good finishing story.
That season in the semifinal, I scored a goal of the halfway line, yes. In the semifinal.
He entered the game for the Pioneers, number 27, Daniel Moguel. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we were champion. We went to the nationals again. I played the nationals, but unfortunately I got injured again during the game, and we lost. But it was special.
Then first team, just traveling in general with the guys, like those big long away trips, there's definitely there's pros and cons of playing at home, playing away, but like memories wise, like the away trips are where a lot of my memories lie, so I appreciate it. I have a soft spot in my heart for those away trips.
And finally, I would say senior day. It was just insane. My dad was here. It also been senior day for volleyball, so it was a nice day. And we won 4-0. We had played really well. I almost scored, and I hit it because I was never able to score here before. But I did 2 really good shots, and I was really proud of it.
Yeah, championships are unreal.
I'm not able to pick like one championship and say, oh, this one is my favorite one.
The good thing about winning twice is that you get to decide. Freshman year, I would say that one's very important because, as I said, I was from reserves. The whole team spirit or like group that we had was really cool because there was a distinction between reserves and first team, but there was no division. We knew we were all Brevard.
Like regular season games, you obviously want to win, but you get to playoffs and there's just something in the air. You can feel it, and it's to be able to experience that right away from freshman year, like especially coming from the reserves, then going to, we're in playoffs. There's a chance we're gonna get a ring.
And for tournament, I would say NC Wesleyan. I vividly remember that game because it's NC Wesleyan. The atmosphere, the fans, everything is very important, and it was a very tense game. We had scored in the first minute, then they tied. I don't remember if it was right before halftime or after halftime, but they had tied. Impressive game, the fans, everything was very cool. And then we had gone to overtime. First overtime, no goals. Second overtime, I get the ball, and I'm really proud of it because I didn't play, but I get the ball. I give it to Sam. Sam does a throw in. I don't remember if it goes to Igor directly, but there's a pass, gets to Igor, shoots, scores with like 2 minutes left in the second halftime, overtime, and again everybody goes crazy. The bench goes insane. And living that moment like is one of the best things of soccer, getting to scream that goal. And especially knowing like the moment between the goal, that's 1 second before it hits the net is amazing. And then the final of William Peace, very similar result.
That playoff game, it was definitely a new experience, but I remember I had family in North Carolina, and they came out to the game, and they had like a poster with like my face on it, and they had shirts, Brevard College soccer shirts, and that was a surprise. They didn't tell me they were coming.
They had scored first, then we scored with like 3 minutes before the final time. And then in overtime, once again, second overtime, series of rebounds, the ball gets to Lynch. He shoots, and I don't get to see the ball goes in just because of how many people were on the bench. But I get to see the net moving, and that was the moment I knew I was going to get a ring. My freshman year just barely moved up to the first team. And I love that one.
Both were just as special. I don't want to sound selfish, but I preferred the freshman year one because I feel like I played more of a part on the field. But of course, sophomore year I didn't appear in the championship game, but it was still very special run.
And that was big for me. But if I had to choose one, I would say sophomore year was probably my favorite.
As I say, my first one, I was with my brother, but I was injured, so I couldn't play the tournament, the national.
I played more that year, sophomore year. I think I played half of the games as a starter. Very important tournament in general. I remember the semifinals, as I said, against Methodist, one of my favorite games.
Coe's goal against Methodist my sophomore year. It's crazy.
And then the final was at NC Wesleyan, which 1 year before we had beaten them in the semifinals. And again, the fans go insane. It's a very good game. And previously in that same season, we had lost 6-0 to them. So it was not exactly, at that time, it was one of the worst points of our career, but beating them at their home in penalties, because I would say that's the most insane thing.
Like, that penalty shootout was amazing.
It wasn't just a simple penalty shootout. Like, it was 1-1 regular time, then overtime, no goals, and then penalties. We scored. No, they scored, we scored. They scored, we scored. They scored, we scored. We went to sudden death. They scored, we scored. I remember Jose got a shot. It was a very good penalty, but from my side, the keeper had touched it. It had gone in, but that's, once again, that millisecond between the keeper touching and it doesn't touch the net was very nerve-wracking. And then they had missed their best player. He took a lot of time to take the penalty, so we were all shocked. He missed it, or no, Rossi saved it. Very good save.
And I have to give props to my boy Jack Moreno scoring that penalty. It's just like, yeah, like you talk about like the pressure of playoffs and then the pressure of a penalty shootout in playoffs. Especially that one drug out for I don't even know how many penalties. It was a long one. So that was something like I've never experienced before. And to see like one of my closer friends that I've met in Brevard score the game-winning penalty, it was amazing.
We still have the video. I loved watching that video, and this is the shirt we got from that. So I would say that is the best one at NC Wesleyan after a very good tournament. Me playing most of the season, and I would say that's the most enjoyable.
I was tired. I was all broke, and we won. I don't know how we won, and was special because I thought we couldn't won that year. It was so hard. We didn't have like players enough in some positions, like we just had one striker, one on top, something like that. So I cannot pick in one season.
So technically speaking, I could have gone to 2 nationals, but my freshman year I was feeling very sick, so I wasn't able to go that year. And now that I think about it, I was insane thinking I was sick, but I thought it was so normal to go to nationals. I was like, it's okay, I'll miss it. And looking back, I should have never done that. But then thankfully we won sophomore year, so this time I could go to nationals.
No, yeah, nationals was definitely eye-opening. The level wasn't like a crazy shock when I first got here, especially going straight to the reserves. Then you start watching game film on these other teams, and you start to see that there's a lot of talent D3 has to offer. And
it's amazing. The atmosphere, how I would describe it is, I wouldn't say like the games before that are like sloppy, but everything like feels like professional and put together when you show up to those tournaments.
Also, you see, how big the NCAA is, because the NCAA, they paid for our hotels and stuff like that, so we were staying in nicer hotels, nice hotel breakfast. I was not complaining at all. Had our own beds. It was fantastic, and it opened your eyes into like what all D3 can be.
The NCAA experience of the nationals is pretty awesome. Getting to do it with your friends, I think it's very cool because, like, yes, it's a team, but we're all the same age. We're all college students. We're all coming here to study, to play. So we're all experiencing the same thing, and it's very cool to be treated as not necessarily professionals, but we had gone to nationals, so one of the best in the country.
Wow, do they give you like a kind of like a card that you wear on your thing saying the like NCAA tournament participant? I still have that this day. It's cool, and then they give you like these little I don't know what they're called, the little coin type thing that has the NCAA logo on it. So I have 2 of those now because we've been there twice, and
an awesome experience getting your medal, getting your ring. I remember I bought a lot of shirts. I bought 2 for me, 1 for my dad. And I remember that game. Unfortunately, we weren't able to win, but I got to play with my friends, and I would say that's a pretty cool experience.
Teams like Washington and Lee, just going to that campus and seeing how big that, because we're D3, we're a smaller D3. Washington Lee is not a big school by any means, but it's compared to Brevard, it is definitely bigger, and they have a little bit more nicer amenities than we might. So it was eye-opening seeing like that, and then just being able to compete against those teams is very rewarding.
I don't know, it just feels professional. It feels like you've accomplished something, which is exactly what we did our first 2 years, winning our conference.
Sad I only got to experience it once, but glad I got to experience it at least once. And yeah, one of the best experiences.
Yeah, Brevard means a lot. I owe it a lot. Like we said, you asked me how I got to Brevard. It obviously was through soccer. My biggest takeaways from Brevard, I loved playing here, don't get me wrong. It's not from soccer. Like getting my degree here helped me get my job, and I love my job. I'm in the police academy now, and I'm loving every second of it. It's given me best friends in the whole wide world. Like so many people, I met so many new people. Um, you know, it's given me a lot. It's given me like my life, and I still have reasons to come back here. You know, I did graduate last semester. As you can see, I'm here right now. You know, shout out Kennedy Noble. You know, I have a lot of people back here that you know mean a lot to me. So I owe it to Brevard because you know Florida's not too far away. It's not Mexico. You know, I'm not an international student or anything like that. But you know, I never even heard of Brevard until I started looking to the soccer program, and now you know it's like a second home to me. So yeah.
Brevard is my home. As I say, I'm Brazilian, but I feel I belong this place. I don't know if I belong Brevard exactly, but like I belong here, America, in my life. Everything that I have is here. Of course, I have my mom, my dad back in Brazil, but all my opportunities is here, are here. So I belong this place, and I want to live here, stay here, and I feel I need to grow yet, but I'm feeling like I'm the right way. So yeah, I can't complain about Brevard. Brevard gave me everything that I dreamed. Yeah, Brevard is my home.
Oh, I mean, coming out of high school, you know, I mean, I'm sure everyone goes through this, and I like for the internationals, like moving countries and stuff, and you know, you're coming to a school where you don't know anybody, but I mean, for me, I was scared to death. Like my parents were with me freshman year, 4 years ago, and I was like, I didn't want to leave. Like I just want to stay home. Like I'm comfortable with the people that I have. But I mean, to be completely honest, I didn't think that college was like going to be like as fun as I thought it was going to be. You know, for the first like 2 weeks, I was like, oh gosh, this is like, and then like I don't know, and then you're also at an advantage because you have like a soccer team that everyone just made friends like pretty easy, and you know, I mean, you get in the within your team and you find like your people, you know, and I feel like I found my people at Brevard, and you know, as I said, it's the people who make it special here, and you know, I've made memories here that I'm gonna carry with me the rest of my life, so couldn't be more thankful just to be here, enjoying my last few moments here, and won't take it for granted.
Perfect. A lot. I've been, as I said, here for the past 4 years. Previously, I had only lived in Mexico City, and I went to the same school my whole 15 years when I was in Mexico. So changing country, changing everything was not necessarily hard, but it was different. But I would say I'm very glad I got to Brevard because the experiences I've been able to make, the friendships I've been able to make, everything has been insane. As I said, I wanted to come here to study physics and play soccer, and now I'm graduating with communications and history, 2 rings, a CISNAC team, a lot of friendships that are not only in soccer but also outside of it, and faculty. I've also enjoyed Brevard a lot, so it means a lot. I think it shaped me as a person in a way I never expected it to happen. And it is honestly one of the best feelings ever. And I would, be very grateful, very thankful, very happy with Brevard.
Oh yeah. Shout out to my dad, David Finney, for helping me with my recruiting. I didn't have any like agencies or anything. You know, he was helping me out. He knew what it took to get here, and he helped me get a few offers out of high school. Chose Brevard, so he's probably the main reason that I ended up choosing here. So for him, I wouldn't have, you know, made the friendships that I did. Shout out my mom, Christy Finney, for always being there for me, always someone to talk to. Shout out to my old roommate, Hayden Domingo, one of my closest friends and will be for the rest of my life. Love you, Hayden. I love you, Mom and Dad. And that's pretty much it.
It's hard, bro. I'm about to cry, I swear, because I was thinking about the past years, all the 4 years, and it was tough, bro. You remember when I got here, I didn't know how to say, hi, how are you? But
Yeah, so you could say thank you to your parents, to Deputy Anna, and Coach.
I want to say too, thank you for Debbie, for Coach L, and for all my teammates. Can't believe it or not, but I love all of you. I know it's hard to handle some situations, but I love all my teammates and my friends here in Brevard, and of course, thank for my parents, mãe, pai. Muito obrigado por me dar essa oportunidade de estudar aqui nos Estados Unidos e poder concluir esse ciclo na minha vida de 4 anos, onde eu aprendi, chorei, perdi a paciência muitas vezes, pensei em desistir, mas continuei firme porque vocês estavam aí, vocês me deram forças, vocês me ajudaram e é tudo por vocês, pai, mãe, até. Obrigado por tudo.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Like I said, there's family here. So, first of all, I gotta thank all my teammates. You know, people sitting in this room, every team, because there's a lot of turnover in D3, and you also get a lot of new guys each year. So, I've had the opportunity of playing with so many different people, and so meeting so many new guys from a bunch of different countries. So, shout out all my teammates. Definitely want to shout out Kennedy, my girlfriend. Like I said, my professors, I owe them a lot. They still keep up with me, like Mareshi, Dr. Workman. They still keep up with me. They help me get the job that I have now, and they check in with me all the time. So really appreciative of them, and obviously my family getting me to this point, and supporting me all the way through it. And obviously my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. All thanks go up to Him at the end of the day. So yeah.
So before to my family, my dad Martín Moguel Gloria, my mom Mari Carmen Aguilar Sánchez, and my sister María Moguel Aguilar. En español, muchas gracias por todo lo que han hecho. Lo intento decir tan seguido como pueda, pero a veces puede que se me vaya decirlo. Pero en serio, muchas gracias por todo el apoyo que me han dado. Es muy padre saber que soy la persona que soy hoy, sobre todo por el apoyo que me han dado. Papá siempre me has apoyado en todas las decisiones, incluso cuando decidí cambiar de carrera. Mamá llevándome a la cosa en la universidad, puede que no hayamos hablado mucho, pero la persona que soy hoy, el amor que le tengo al fútbol y la cantidad de veces que me llevaste a prácticas me tienen aquí donde estoy hoy. Y María, gracias por soportarme, me has dado mucho apoyo, incluso aunque no nos veamos hace mucho tiempo, pero ha sido mucho apoyo. Also to Lily, she's my girlfriend, and the amount of support she has given me, because as I said, I like doing the communications, like the social media part, and I would have never been able to do that without her pictures. For CSNAC, the same thing. I value a lot CSNAC and the team inside like the pitch for futsal, but if it wasn't for her and her pictures and in general giving me that much content, I wouldn't have loved doing it what I do right now. And also she's pretty cool. And then I would say all my friends, CSNAC, Luca, Mauro, Miguel, Gonzalo, Franco, José, Philip, Samu y mucha gente. Gracias. And yeah, faculty, Charles, Dr. Cook, and Dr. Whitaker. Really cool. And I would say thank you. Oh, and Phil, Demon Malin, because he's giving me opportunities. Yeah.